Something in this press conference feels simple on the surface, but if you listen closely, there's a layer underneath that starts to show itself, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. This isn't about one answer or one quote. It's about how a first-time NFL head coach is being tested in real time, and how the room is quietly trying to figure out who he is. Because this moment matters more than it looks. It's early in the offseason, but the narratives are already forming, and the media is trying to shape what comes next. This is Todd Monken, stepping into his first offseason program as an NFL head coach. New system, new leadership, and a quarterback situation that hasn't been settled. And that's where the pressure starts to build. The Cleveland media isn't just asking questions here. They're trying to understand how Monken thinks, what he values, and where he might reveal something unintentionally. And that changes how every question should be heard. So what you're about to see isn't random. It's a filling out process on both sides. And it starts with something that sounds simple, but isn't. Before anything controversial gets asked, the room opens with a foundational question. This is about tone setting, not information gathering, and it gives Monken a chance to define his leadership identity early.
Your sort of opening message to the team is at the start of this offseason program?
This question is designed to sound harmless, but structurally, it's asking Monken to declare his philosophy publicly. And once that's stated, it becomes something the media can measure him against later.
It's real simple. We're in the development business and the winning business. Point blank, period. That's what we're in.
Monken keeps it tight and controlled. Development and winning. Nothing extra, nothing emotional. That limits interpretation and avoids giving the room anything to twist early. But notice what he doesn't do. He doesn't expand, doesn't personalize it, doesn't open the floor. And that's intentional, especially this early in the process. The next question shifts slightly. Now the media is probing for vulnerability. They want to see if the moment feels bigger to him than he's letting on.
Did it feel any different, Todd? I know you've done it before and stood in front of the team, but first time NFL head coach, did it feel any different?
This question is designed to create a pressure point. If he admits he feels different, it suggests adjustment. If he downplays it, it signals confidence. Either way, the answer gets framed.
It felt different preparing for the meeting, the time that it took to make sure you're on point with the message and for the guys to feel that message, but getting up in front of the room, no.
Monken acknowledges the preparation, but not the pressure. That's a subtle distinction. He gives effort without giving uncertainty. And that's a pattern you start to see. He'll give just enough to answer the question, but not enough to shift the narrative. And that becomes important as the questions get sharper. Because now the room starts moving towards something else. Attendance, engagement, and who's showing up for OTAs. And this is where the underlying roster dynamics begin to surface.
Do you have any update on Joe Petronia's plans?
I do not.
Are you happy with the turnout so far?
This question isn't just about turnout. It's about buy-in. Who's here? Who's not? And what that might say about leadership and culture.
Oh, yeah. No, it's our job. We all know that the off-season's voluntary. I mean, it is. So, first of all, there's nothing like being around the players. I mean, it's everything we do is the development of players. That's how we get to where we're at.
Monken immediately reframes the entire premise. He shifts from attendance to responsibility. It's not about who shows up. It's about creating something worth showing up for. And that's a leadership move. Instead of reacting to the question, he redirects it. And in doing that, he protects the players while reinforcing the standard. But the media doesn't stay there. Because eventually, every road in this press conference leads to one thing: the quarterback situation. And when that topic comes up, the structure of the questions change. They become less about philosophy and more about control. Who's leading, who's winning, and who's ahead.
You mentioned the importance of tape, and it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. That being said, going through all the tape, getting these guys, these quarterbacks in the building, do you have an inkling of who will be, leading in reps to start out?
This right here, is a classic forced clarity question. The media is trying to get him to reveal a hierarchy before he's ready. And once that hierarchy is stated, it shapes the entire narrative.
We talking about quarterback? No, not really, because there's enough there of all three. I mean, I think we'd all be able to say that. There's enough there to really like Deshaun, the way he plays. And there's enough there to really like the way Shedeur played at the back end of the year. And there's enough early in the year from Dylan that is playing the position at a very high level.
Monken refuses to give them that. Instead of naming a leader, he validates all three. That keeps the competition open and prevents early narrative locking. But even more importantly, it protects his flexibility. Because once you declare a leader publicly, it becomes harder to reverse course without consequences. And this is where you start to understand what's really happening in this press conference. It's not about answers. It's about control. The media is trying to define the story early. Who's the quarterback? What's the culture? What's different? And Monken is resisting that at every turn. He's not avoiding the questions. He's managing outcomes, limiting exposure, controlling framing, and keeping options open as long as possible. And that's the real takeaway here. Early off-season press conferences aren't about information. They're about positioning. Because once the season starts, the answers get louder. But right now, the quiet moves matter more than anything being said. I want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to our channel members. We really appreciate the support and what you're helping us build here. If you're getting value from these breakdowns and want to support the channel, you can check the link down in the description. This is Press Room Breakdown, where we slow the room down and study how the message gets made.